And welcome back, folks. Where are we exactly? Okay. Before we head back into Sarth, let's head over here. Wrinkling his nose at the smell of fresh fertilizer, Owen pointed out a small cloud of dust that rose off the roadside. Within a cloud, a mushroom-shaped man was hard at work, his hoe rising and dipping over a row of budding pink potato eyes. Flashing his irrepressible smile, Locklear crept up behind the monk. I half jumped out from out of my robes. Hello there, strangers. Hope we aren't disturbing you. No, I was about to leave my garden anyways. Busy hands set the mind to work, you know. On your way to Sarth? Perhaps, brother. Brother Marc of Sarth, glad to meet you. We don't get many illerati here. Books don't seem to interest the commoners as much as gold or wenching. But we have scholars enough, all going blind from reading worm-eaten books, and a dozen boys scribbling away their youths in our vaults. It is an unusual place. I have a friend who visited here once. He told me that you worship the god of knowledge. They do say that, yes. I suppose after a fashion it is true. If there is a question that can be answered in no other place, your best hope is to look in our vaults. Do you know anything about spellcasting? I know a little of it, though Brother Dominic knows more about it than I. As soon as he finishes his studies on Quagian civil codes, I'm certain he would be more than happy to sit down and talk to you about it. He should be only another 2 or 3 months at it, I would think. I'm afraid we don't have 2 or 3 months to wait. Why don't we leave the brother alone, nephew? Disc. Now don't discourage the boy from asking questions, or he'll become afraid to question anything. I think I might have some time to teach him a bit about focusing if you can spare a few sovereigns. Say 50? Is that acceptable enough to everyone? Not right now because we don't have it selected. Really, we have other things we must do. We appreciate the offer nonetheless. If you change your mind, the offer will stand. Are there any hazards on the road south from here to Krondor? We are in something of a hurry, and I would hate to run into any unexpected delays. I haven't heard any complaints from the travelers that have been through here in the past few weeks, but I don't think the mercenaries that stopped by to speak to Brother Dominic said anything of it. Mercenaries? They're not in Quagian press gangs, are they? Not to my knowledge, no. These lot landed just south of Questor's View in a ship called the Foam Spinner. As much as they've been up and down the roads, I assume they were on a shore leave. Were there many of them? Many of them. If you laid them head to foot, I'd imagine you could walk across the Straits of Darkness without getting your feet wet. It seemed one of those Quagian galleys can carry a small village from one place to another. So when is the storm going to hit? We're a little concerned about finding a place to stay so we don't get soaked. Storm? It's the first I've heard of such a meteorological disturbance. Brother Giram didn't mention it to me before I left the Abbey this morning. That's strange. We met a gentleman named Rowe who said a storm had been predicted by the brothers at the Abbey. I wonder why he would tell you such a thing. Of course he has been acting peculiarly since his wife died. Terrible tragedy, and striking at such a time when he had to give up his farm. I really must feel for the poor old soul. Now that I know a little more about spellcasting, perhaps there is a simple spell you could teach me. Owen! Just something simple, so we can defend ourselves in case we run into anyone hostile on the road. I don't know what you imagine is waiting out there for you, but I believe I have just the thing. I will have to run up to the vaults to search for it, but it is a little spell called Flamecast. Of course, that will be a matter of a fee, say 30 sovereigns. I know precisely where it is if you want me to run and get it. Shall I? Yes. You can be quick about it? I won't be a moment. I will return as quickly as my little feet can move me. They waited. When at last it seemed the priest was never going to return, he appeared waddling down the hillside. a beribboned parchment, missive stuffed beneath one of his arms. Collecting the money owed him from Gorath, he cheerfully handed over the scroll. We can sell that for more than we paid for it, which is always a good thing. Is it permitted for outsiders to browse the books in the vaults? I would be interested in looking them over. It's fine with me, but it's Brother Anthony you may have to convince. He doesn't like strangers wandering around down there without supervision. We have a number of rare and valuable books, and it would be the worst kind of tragedy to lose them to a casual browser. I'll warn you, though, you may have difficulty finding what it is you want. Many of the books have never been catalogs, unless you know the very specifically what you're looking for, either by the scribe's name or the title of the work. You might not find anything that will be of any value to you. Do you know of any good inns in the area? I think I might sleep a little better if I could bed down on something other than cold ground tonight. There are a few. You might try Babin's Hostel in Questor's View, or the old Bywater Inn. If it weren't for my duties here, I would be half inclined to join you. Some acolyte somewhere had been trying his hand at dream sendings, and I have not had a good night's sleep in weeks. Dream sendings? Excuse me, folks. It's a way to send messages over long distances. Only certain magicians have the talent for it. Whoever it is, they can't be too far away because the images are fairly strong. What do they seem to be trying to say? I'm not certain. The images are too disjointed. Though now I think of it, I thought I had seen your else friend's face before. I think this will be my last video tonight. I just can't seem to do voices anymore. Now I know why. His face was in the sendings. Uh-oh. Let's, leave quickly. Let's select his casting. Back off. Head back off. Oh, come on. He's right there. Surely this is far enough away. No. You know what? We'll head in. Quickly head out. No. Where did he go? He was right here. Oh. Bother. You know what? We'll quickly run all the way over here. Let's turn around. Head back. Hopefully he comes back. He should be right there. Come on. Ah! Finally. We want... Yes. More than acceptable. Where do we start? An enthusiastic student. Delightful. This will be a pleasure to teach. Owen blanched. He had been assigned a simple enough task. Cast a telekinetic spell to move his satchel closer to him. Instead, his satchel had remained obstinately stationary while hurling Brother Marc backwards into his well-tended crops. Are you all right? Owen gasped. I didn't mean for that to happen. You are still depending on your eyes, Brother Marc sighed, brushing a stalk of corn out of his face as he struggled to his feet. Concentrate. If you ever find yourself in a situation when you can't see what you're affecting, all the spells in the world will be utterly useless to you. Instead of trying to see your target, try to feel it. Now let's try this again. I know you'll learn this eventually. We don't have any more time to waste, Cora said. Why don't you pick up your things and we can get ready to move, Owen. Again on his feet, Brother Marc went to console his downcast pupil, patting him reassuringly on the shoulder. Remember, feel the target. That's the key. Until then, I suggest you stock up on a good supply of Luton's concentrate to get you through your exercises. Alright, before my throat is completely wore out, I'm going to save it here, and this will be my last video for the night. When we come back, we'll go back into Sarth, and probably go into the, I believe they're the Sarth mines.